You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. It is a Tuesday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew. Happy to have everybody along from the 7 Mile Casino studios. And a reminder, as always, 7 Mile Casino is only 7 minutes from downtown San Diego, that beautiful bay of Chula Vista, the incredible food of Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, blackjack, poker tables, and other table games in a smoke-free environment. What a spot. 7 Mile Casino, and their website is 7milecasino.com. So, we were just getting ready to come back on the air. And nowadays, because, we are not just a radio show any longer, but there is the audio for 1090 and radio and audio for all the different audio podcast platforms. But then there's the video side of things, which is YouTube and television, part of the Cox Your View Network, Channel 4 in San Diego, Channel 4 in Santa Barbara, and in between, 118 in Palos Verdes in Orange County. So if you're catching up on TV tonight, just as we're getting ready to come back onto the air, I'm like playing with my hair, like right up here, And Browner, what did you say?
I said, you sweating, dog? You all right?
It's not that I'm sweating. I'm going to make an admission to you.
And I just slobbered behind the mic. Nobody saw it.
You guys are a mess.
We are a freaking disaster today. It's only Tuesday, and I got a big old night of sleep last night because, I had come back from Vegas. We talked about this yesterday. By the way, thanks to everybody on Twitter and on Instagram who hit me up and told me how much they really enjoyed the story yesterday of being with Canelo Alvarez and being with that group of golf guys from Del Mar and the pictures and everything else. Alex, I'll have you know, that I have been declared by many on social media as an honorary Mexicano.
Oh, wow.
Because I now hang out and am best friends, clearly, with Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Okay,
minute.
here's the thing about honorary stuff.
Yeah.
You actually got to do things like a Mexican would do.
Mm-hmm.
You showed up on time.
Wrong.
You left early.
Wrong.
You didn't go partying.
Wrong.
You didn't do anything.
Nothing.
As far as I could tell, I don't even think you had tequila.
That was very white of you.
You said you had vodka sodas.
Yeah, I did.
So whoever declared you honorary, I'm stripping them of their title.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
You've been working with this young man for how long? A decade?
Yeah, it's been almost 10 years.
Like
me and
9
Alex
years,
been together.
8 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna give it to you. Isn't it him? You shouldn't get it from a day, not even a day, with Canelo Alvarez. Who gave you this? Who gave you this card?
Yeah, you said numerous people?
Muchos Mexicanos have given me
Who they?
official. What do you mean, who they?
Who they?
I'm saying,
Show us the receipts.
I'm saying multiple Mexicanos have honored me because of my now best friend relationship with Canelo Alvarez. Many people now consider me to be Mexicanos. Yeah, now me and Canelo are best friends.
Oh, dude, if you said you were going to bring back Man Crush, which was on Thursdays, if that does happen, I mean, Canelo's numero uno. We all know that.
He might be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Dude,
honestly, there should be a Man Crush list. Should just be one this week.
Right. Party of one, people.
Okay, I'm putting it down on my list.
But I would
now.
like to
Thursday
see
Man
these.
Crush.
I would like to see were they tweets, emails, text messages?
I think they were messages on Instagram.
Okay, so none of them from me.
That's right.
I would assume none of them from Fat Tony.
Well, Fat Tony is my man, and I think he's already
hasn't honorized you yet. If that's
I think he has honorized me because when we see each other, you know how we greet each other?
How?
Fat Tony comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, what's up, my Jew?" That's what he says to me. That's actually legit what he says to me. And I say, "Hola, mi hermano de Mexico."
Okay.
And that's how I honor him. So I believe that I'm in. I think
Wait,
I'm
so is he an honorary Jew thanks to you?
Yeah, I've honoraried him, and he's honoraried me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going on your Instagram. I need to see who did this.
Okay.
That person's out.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Well, anyway, block that guy.
Well, anyway, here's the deal. By the way, speaking of Fat Tony, really quickly, I have been receiving many messages, direct messages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, email. Anybody who's got my phone number, text me. I'm getting bombarded, literally, by people, great friends, who want to be on the Great Friends holiday cruise on December 11th, which is a Saturday. Next Level Sailing, the Yacht America, Captain Fathom, Captain Troy
I got the
Sears.
invite. I done it.
You did it?
Yeah. I'll send it to
Sweet.
Alex.
Sweet. So I've been getting hit up by everybody, like, count me in. It's not like, yo, you got a spot for me? It's like, yo, count me in. I'll be there. And so we're just getting bombarded by people who want to be part of the Great Friends Holiday Party. And I'll tell you guys that I'm this close to pulling the trigger. Fat Tony and I are working together. I'm thinking about a holiday gift for all of the great friends who make it onto the Next Level Sailing cruise that day. And I'm looking at really, really bomb ass Kaplan and Crew hoodies, because it's going to be cold on that boat.
Bomb ass.
Yeah, that's right. Like, bomb is one thing, but
Yeah.
bomb ass is a whole different
Bomb
level.
ass.
You feel me?
Ooh,
Bomb ass.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Fat Tony and I are working on our holiday hoodies for anybody who makes it onto the Yacht America. And then I'm actually thinking about it because people hit me up on this stuff all the time. They're like, "How come you guys don't do merch?"
Should I show the hoodies?
Yeah, if you want to, show them. This is what Fat Tony's
This is
been
for
working
public
on.
consumption?
Sure, why not? Take a look at these, Browner. Take a look at these right here. Take a look at those brown hoodies.
Ooh.
Got the website. Got a little logo action with Mightier 1090 on one sleeve. Got
Who
sided
making
on the
these?
other. Fat Tony.
I gotta see the work.
You don't think they're bomb ass?
I gotta see it in person.
Yeah. Well, people have been asking me all the time. They're like, how do we get Kaplan and Crew merch? How do I represent? And I'm like, I don't know. So Alex has been hooking me up with cousin Nancy, who runs the kaplanandcrew.com website. Fat Tony's creating a whole bunch of merch for us. We're going to do these as giveaways the day on December 11th when we hit up the boat on Yacht America, Next Level Sailing. And then we'll put them on our website. So for anybody that doesn't get on the boat that wants this for their favorite great friend for the holidays, you'll have the opportunity to have this kind of merchandise. So
Yeah, I do. I mean, Browner doesn't know this, but I do like that you have a guest list of people. So we have the sponsors and we have the team and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got at least 6, 7, 8 emails from you. Like, yeah, put this person on. Yeah, put this person on.
Oh my god.
Put this person on.
Can't
So
help
it's
it.
like,
I can't help it.
like
You have to help it though.
I know, but Browner,
you have
these are,
to.
but Browner, let me ask you a question.
Ask.
Don't we want our greatest supporters and greatest of great friends on the yacht that day?
Well,
Don't we want?
I gotta push back a tiny bit.
Okay,
How about this?
Go ahead.
Do you think that our greatest supporters and our greatest listeners and our greatest viewers all have your email?
No,
Great point.
No. What they do is they generally hit me up on social, and then I'll say, please put this in email so that we can
Okay.
actually move it
that's
around.
fair. Well, that's
Yeah.
fair. Because I think there's people that don't have our emails.
Yeah, none of
Even
these
though-
people are. No, I'll give you an example. Here's a perfect example. Al Long. Okay, you guys know Al Long, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with him. Yeah,
Okay.
he in.
Al Long's my man, right? So Al Long sends me a message on Instagram, on direct message, and says, "Hey man, what can I do to get onto the Yacht America on December 11th with Next Level Sailing?" And
Give
I'm
me
like,
some of your crypto.
yeah, or bring weed for the entire boat, But I'm like, dude, send me an email and we'll make it happen, And I give my email address. Bernard Thompson. Is Bernard Thompson somebody that belongs into the Great Friends yachting
I'm
party?
not saying they don't belong. I'm not saying that at all. To anybody that you've sent me, don't get it twisted. What I'm saying is I would like equal opportunity for people that don't have our contacts to get on the boat. Because I
Yeah.
just think that there's a lot of people that watch our show that don't comment on the
Right.
YouTube chat, that watch it later, but that are always watching and want to be part of it. I think
And two, I would like to have an opportunity to make some of our newer listeners who may watch us on television and some of our newer listeners who may be hearing us back as the Mightier 1090. So I want to get a good mix of the group. I don't want to overload it as much as we absolutely appreciate the people who've been here from the very beginning. Some of them have already been.
we
on
already
the
got
boat.
them. They're not going
I know.
anywhere.
I know, but these are tremendous brand ambassadors, and they are the greatest of the great friends, and they're the ones that are aggressively saying, "Hey, I want to be there that day."
I feel you.
And so we'll listen. Here's what's gonna happen. Browner has pointed this out a million times. We're gonna have a whole guest list, then people are gonna bail, and then more people are gonna come in. It's just the way it's gonna go. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna start doing some giveaways on the air. Okay. When we figure out when we know how many people are coming from I Thrive MD, how many people are coming from Tory Holistics, how many people are coming from Corky or Mountain Trust or 7 Mile, or any of our other great sponsors, once we kind of get that list narrowed down, then we'll have an idea of how many other people can come. And I think our total number is like 70.
Also, shout out to my dog Ryan Miller.
Who dat?
He know what it is. He know what's popping.
Okay. Does he know, or do we know, or do
No, he
only
know.
you know? How
Because
about us? Do
my
we know?
number changed, and so some people who I coordinate with in coordination with the show for the hookups, I may or may not have their number anymore. So they know what it is.
Okay, they do. Just we don't.
We don't. Nobody does.
Yeah. So this whole segment began.
know
I don't know
how I
how. I don't know how this all started, but the whole segment began with me going like this
Merch.
to my forehead. No, not with merch. Merch came second. I was playing with my forehead, and Browner said, "Yo, dog, you sweating? What's up, man? You sweat?" Here's the one thing I've noticed as I'm getting a little older. Certain things are changing a little bit. Okay.
Got that Giuliani drip?
Well, no, not that. I'll give you an example. The Giuliani drip. It's not because I got my hair colored and I'm worried that the dye is leaking down my
My
forehead.
bad, dog. My bad.
But I do notice this, and tell me if anybody else feels this way. As you get a little bit older, you start to grow hair in places where you didn't necessarily have hair. I'll give you an example. Like my ears, they're hairy. Like the inner part of my ears right here, I got to take like a little buzzer and bzzz and buzz out the hair in my ears, because it's growing like out. Like before long, it's going to be like out of my ears and down my neck. I'll be able to braid it. I know it's gross. So
does
I
it
don't
get
know, man.
waxy?
Well, I have done waxing on my ears. I have done that.
No, do you get earwax on your hair?
No.
Have you ever done that? The like the stick up the nose wax.
Oh,
Yeah, do it all the time. Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. Every time I get my hair cut, I get my nostrils waxed.
And how bad does it hurt?
Not that bad.
I've always wanted to do it.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
I
The
got a
only
lot of
problem-
nose hair.
Here's the only problem. The only problem is that when the person pulls out the wax, sometimes there's a lot of excess wax left in there, and then I got my pinky finger up my nose, and I'm trying to get the excess wax out. Then it's kind of like all of a sudden your nostrils went from hairy to like
Smooth?
completely bald and super smooth.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, about
Do
2
you
days
sm-
later, after you get your nostrils waxed, about 2 days later, now you got a bunch of like ingrown hair follicles inside your nose, and it hurts like a mofo.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Gentlemen, age gracefully. Age gracefully. We do not have the unfortunate social expectations on our appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Age gracefully, gentlemen.
Okay. Well, here's the
Sometimes it's
thing.
not a choice.
Yeah. Well, again, there's a lot of hair growing inside my ears, which is like turning into something that I have to like manscape,
Pluck?
if you will. No
Yeah.
plucking, just buzzing. But here's the thing. So when I touched my forehead and Browner asked me if I was sweating, I also noticed that I'm growing hair like right here in the middle of my forehead.
Widow's Peak.
Is that Widow's Peak? Right.
Mhm.
What was the TV show, the Munsters? You guys ever see that TV show,
Yeah.
The Munsters?
Yeah.
I know it was kind of probably more when I was a kid. You guys probably were
Mr.
catching-
Burns got that too
Who's Mr. Burns?
from The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. Well, it's called a Widow's Peak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When you
so,
just got hair like here, like it's a little
Like a diamond
little,
almost.
little
Yeah.
triangle over the
yeah,
front.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
widow's
like a
peak.
yeah,
Little
kinda
vampire.
like- yeah, what do they call it? What do they call it right underneath the lip when like
Soul patch.
soul patch? So I thought it was like
Like
a
the Cholo
forehead.
yesterday in the fight.
Yeah.
Right. So like I thought like a soul patch was happening right here in my forehead. So last night I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, I don't like this little Eddie Munster soul patch in the middle of my forehead, right?
I wish we could
So I-
zoom in your camera.
So I know, I wish I could too. So I go ahead. I'm trying to get closer to
Well,
my
you
camera.
lined yourself up.
No.
I did what?
You lined yourself up.
What do you mean?
No!
line myself up? What does that mean?
Keep saying what you're about to say. Hold on. Keep saying
So
what
I-
you're about to say.
So I literally, like right here in the middle of my forehead,
I can
Yeah.
see it.
okay, I had like this little like Eddie Munster
Yeah.
thing, right? So I took my little buzzer and I go bzzz, right? And I'm gonna buzz the middle of my forehead so because
Right.
I don't like it. Well, of course, while doing that, I somehow
too high.
I
Too
went
far.
yeah, I went too far, and
You
I got
gave yourself a lineup.
a what? What did I give myself?
You gave yourself a
What
lineup.
are you doing?
You
Come
gave
on,
me-
man.
You gave yourself an Edgar cut.
Here, look, let me show you. Let me try and get closer to the camera.
I can see it. It's like a green spot where the hair's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
You lined yourself up.
Bro, what are you doing?
Right here. Right here. Look how bad that looks.
That looks terrible.
Horrible, right? Doesn't that look horrible?
Yes.
He said, "What are you doing?"
What?
I didn't mean
Bro,
to, dog.
You gotta go to a person, dog.
Oh,
You got a lady
man.
now. You got a sophisticated, highly educated woman. You can't be going around with that thing on your head like that, man. Get that fixed.
You like did this like front line, straight line Edgar cut.
Yeah, bro. What is you doing?
I don't know, dog. I don't
You
think
finna
that's what I
stadium
did.
fight next?
No, I'm not fitting to do any stadium fights. In fact, speaking of stadium fights,
Dude,
Alex,
you gave yourself an Edgar cut.
can you pull up the fight yesterday that we started talking about towards the end of the show?
Got the white Edgar.
Because
Oh, man.
everybody,
like the actual fight.
yeah, the fight that we saw inside SoFi
yeah.
Stadium between the Rams guys and the Titans
Sure.
guy. Okay, hold on. We'll have that coming up for you.
What you did to yourself.
Dude, I know. Look how bad it is. Here, I'm going to get closer. Look how terrible.
Oh man.
Right here.
Yeah, you could see the outline, man.
Yes, it's
it looks like a
green.
5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Look how bad that is. That is
Bro, you
so
gotta let
bad.
that grow out, man.
Tell me about it. I know I do.
You gotta go to your
I know I
lady.
do.
Brother.
I know.
You gotta go to the nose waxer.
I
So
know.
you were touching it like, wait, it was gonna grow back or something?
Well, no, I was trying to figure out because I can see how uneven it is.
Right.
You know? God, I look like an idiot. Anyway, all right. Hey,
okay, I
give
got
me
the
one.
fight.
hat.
You want to see it?
Hey, I do want to say this real quick before we play this video. Coming up a little bit later on in today's show, Dr. Samir Damani is going to stop by from iThrive MD. And I'm going to say to all the guys out there, just stay with us and tune in. Because if you've been thinking about going to iThrive MD and you've been thinking about calling, and I've been telling you about 50% savings from $289 a month to $145 a month for your first 3 months, that sounds like an incredible deal. You're going to go to iThrive MD. You're going to get testosterone treatments because you may be depressed, or you may be feeling lazy, or you may be feeling brain foggy, or you have no energy in the bedroom. You're going to get this 3 months for $145. And then at the end of the 3 months, you're going to have to make a decision. Do I want to keep going at the full price, or am I done? Well, here's what's going to happen. You're going to feel so good, and your life is going to be so much better, and you're going to be so much healthier, and you're going to have the clarity of mind of a young guy. You're going to perform in the bedroom like you're 18 years old, okay? And maybe a little bit older. And the point is that you're going to have all the health benefits of getting your testosterone levels right, and you're going to thank me because you're going to get the first 3 months for 50% off. Call and make an appointment before Thanksgiving, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497, and you'll meet Dr. Damani a little bit later on in today's show. He's going to stop by and hang out and BS with us for a little bit. All right, yesterday, we showed a video of a fight inside of SoFi Stadium between a Titans fan and a Rams fan. This video has now gone viral, and I've seen it all over the place since we showed it yesterday, and I'm not taking credit for it. I'm just saying that we showed it. Alex is showing it right now, but you kind of got into it a little bit late because the Titans fan was already knocked out by this time. I just can't believe this guy, number one. The guy wearing an old school Rams jersey, he looks like, what was the name of that guy who used to be the kicker for the Rams way back in the old days? You know, wearing a number one jersey and like he just knocked this Titans fan out. He is face first down on the stairs. And then, boom, he knocks out an Aaron Donald Rams fan. And then I don't know who 47 is, who's climbing up the stairs. I don't know why this guy just decided to stomp on Aaron Donald's head on the way up the stairs. But, man, that fight video from yesterday, that is – I'm telling you right now, I don't know who these people are who get into fights at stadiums. I don't know who they are, the people who get knocked out, and the people who do the knocking out. I don't want to get hurt, and I don't want to hurt anybody. What is wrong with everybody getting into fights at these stadiums? I don't know. I don't know if it's worse
Why do
today
you keep asking that question?
You know what we need?
I don't know.
We need.
Maybe because I just can't figure out the violence.
Dude,
I don't know.
You just gotta embrace the fact that people have always drank at sporting events.
Right.
And people have always fought at sporting events. But now there's 65,000 video cameras in the stadium. Like, that's the difference.
We need a top 5 fight video. Like, we need to put in order our top 5 fights because we already know what number 1 and 2 is.
Well, wait,
number 1 is the one
yeah.
that started this entire thing, the rib kick.
Yeah, rib kick.
That's number 1, still funny to this day.
Mhm.
And number 2 is the Padres fan knocking out the Rockies fan.
Mhm,
That's
one
number
punch.
2.
Mhm.
Everything else we can debate.
Okay. You're right. Here's where it all started. Two guys on the street, one guy shirtless, and the other guy who has some training of some kind, right? And the guy with no shirt looks like he's like angry and violent, and then all of a sudden he gets roundhouse kicked in the face, and now it's on. The minks are on. You know?
I'm on YouTube. I don't know what just popped up.
Yeah, I don't know. Boom! Watch this. Boom! Oh, he takes that kick. Yeah.
That's number one. That's all-time great. That's the GOAT.
Yeah. This whole segment got completely sidetracked, all because just as we were getting ready to come on, I fixed or tried to fix my hair, and it ultimately turned into
what hair?
I got a business idea for Dr. Dumani.
Okay. You have a business idea for Dr. Dumani?
Yeah, when he come on, I got a business idea for him.
Okay. Well, it all started with me trying to fix my white guy Edgar. Then it turned into merchandise for the show. Then it turned into the cruise with Next Level Sailing, and somehow it ultimately ended with fight videos.
Did you see the Evite?
I haven't yet seen the Evite.
Check it out. I can text it to you. Let me know what you think.
I'll check it out during the break here. All right, stick around, everybody. We got a lot to get to. Fernando Tatis, is he going to be the MVP as Browner predicted? We'll get to that. We got a bunch of Monday Night Football stuff. We had a bunch of things that happened in the NBA last night. We're really just getting rolling. Stick around. It is Tuesday from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Pete Gray here, inviting you to catch my show, Let's Talk Hookup, every Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time. For over 30 years, we've been the voice of the fishing community for Southern California, and so glad to be back on the big stick.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
SDCCU is an engaged community partner. Each year, SDCCU is proud to support many nonprofit organizations throughout Southern California. Our partnerships allow us to help shape the financial lives of many through volunteerism, financial support, and creating public awareness. The result is a big impact on the communities we serve. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking, it's better. Federally insured by NCUA. Find out more at sdccu.com.
Round 2 of the 2021 USL Championship Playoffs, live on Your View, the Western Conference Semifinals. Watch Orange County SC host the Oakland Roots SC Saturday, November 13th at 7. This second round game will be live at Championship Soccer Stadium. Come join the fun. Limited tickets are available. Orange County SC versus the Oakland Roots SC Saturday at 7 on Your View.
Great googly moogly.
Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
Up to 30% of COVID-19 patients become long haulers with persistent symptoms months after the infection.
What I've been finding with my patients is that it's taking up to 3 to 6 months for them to recover their endurance, exercise capacity, and get them back to work or to their usual activities of daily living.
What I wasn't able to do was the basic needs, like brush your teeth, take a shower, because of the shortness of breath, the tightness in my chest.
The symptoms that concern me the most, the shortness of breath. So restrictive, you know, you go through and you just take for granted that, you know, you're gonna breathe. And when that gets taken away, it's a scary thought. Unfortunately, I'm 6 months out now from my diagnosis and I'm still suffering from several of the symptoms.
My experience with the patients I've sent to La Mesa Rehab has been extremely positive. The patients come back with good reports, and when I see them in the office, their exercise capacity has improved dramatically.
I'm getting there because of La Mesa Rehab.
Teatro means theater in Spanish, and in Portuguese, and in Tagalog, and in Italian, and in so many languages. We have a lot of communities, a lot of culture here, so that is the reason why teatro is in the name. The mission of Teatro San Diego is to provide arts education to underserved communities, specifically in schools. Our goal is also in tandem with arts education to provide a professional theater company and dance company so that the community can see themselves reflected on stage at the professional level. Places like Subaru have really been so supportive and have helped us come up with projects like the AMI project.
I was so honored to be at an event a few days ago and heard some of the songs from it. These guys rock. This is just an amazing thing that everyone needs to see.
We're here every day, 24/7, giving you only the finest handcrafted sports talk programming you're going to find anywhere. And we never stop. Fanatic is such a mean word. We prefer committed. This is the mightier 1090 AM.
My name is John Alicio, and I'm managing partner of Procopio. Procopio is the largest San Diego-based law firm, and we're proud to be a part of this event to salute to teachers. Without the teachers, none of us would have had the success we've had. You know, our firm consists of about 200 professionals and 200 attorneys, so a total of 400 mostly San Diego-educated professionals. Without you, we'd not be winning the cases we win as we go toe-to-toe with the best attorneys in the world. So thank you on behalf of Procopio for what you do and how you do it. And a special personal thanks to my alma mater, Valhalla High School, and the teachers at that school. Without you, I would not have had the personal success I have had. So from Procopio, thank you for what you do and how you do it. Salute.
Congratulations to the San Diego County Teachers of the Year, Laura Reyes, Heather McLean, Jacqueline Jourdain, Zy Sanders, and Tiffany Jokerst.
This year has provided a mountain of challenges, but every mountaintop is within reach if you just keep climbing.
Cox Presents Salute to Teachers is proudly sponsored by these charitable companies.
The San Diego Loyals 2021 season came to a close after they lost to San Antonio in the quarterfinals of the USL Championship playoffs. San Antonio capitalized on miscues and put up a strong defensive effort to get the 2-0 shutout win and send the Loyal home. San Diego does have plenty to be proud of this year. After an 0-4 start to the season, the Loyal went on a 9-game unbeaten streak and finished third in the Pacific Division. San Diego Loyal manager Landon Donovan said there were positives throughout the year, but ultimately the end of the season exposed the team's weaknesses. Donovan said he looks at that as a learning experience for the team and for him as a coach. San Diego did have some opportunities toward the end of the game against San Antonio, but they just couldn't find the net to get on the board and find a way. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcat. He's in the 40. Is he going to go? Holds it in. What a catch. Return left sideline. Off to the races. He splits the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon. Round 2 of the 2021 USL Championship Playoffs, live on Your View, the Western Conference Semifinals. Watch Orange County SC host the Oakland Roots SC Saturday, November 13th at 7. This second round game will be live at Championship Soccer Stadium. Come join the fun. Limited tickets are available. Orange County SC versus the Oakland Roots SC Saturday at 7 on Your View.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, and by Prospect Home Finance.
Great friends, it is a Tuesday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew. We've been through a lot so far today. We've been talking about, Browner, how much of the show do you think we talked about like nonsense, boat trips, hairlines, things like that? You know, just all kinds of craziness today.
All of it. And Doc, I might have $1 billion business idea for you. I really do. I really do.
Well, here's
I think we can make some money here. By we, I mean you.
All right, hold on. Here's Dr. Samir Damani. Dr. Damani is the gentleman who runs the iThrive MD clinic that I've been talking about like nonstop. Browner says he's got $1 billion business idea. And Dr. Damani, it is great to have you back on the show. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me, Scott.
Yeah. Doc, before Browner gives us this brilliant business idea, and who knows what he's going to say, I don't. Let me start off with this. I received an email from a longtime listener to the show who wrote me an email and said, hey, I've gone to iThrive MD and I'm now I'm getting this testosterone treatment from iThrive MD. And I think what ultimately got him like over the edge was this very generous offer that you have created for all of our listeners and viewers, which is taking the price of testosterone treatments from $289 a month down to $145 a month for the first 3 months. First, thank you for that generosity, Doc, because a lot of our listeners are going to become your clients, patients, and they're going to get healthier, and they're going to do it for half price, at least for the first 3 months. So I'll start with a thank you on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We want to get your audience in here and want to have people experience the benefits of not only testosterone, but a lot of the other supplemental therapies we offer.
Well, that's what I wanted to get to. So this gentleman who is a longtime listener, his name is Michael Ambacher, and Michael has given me the authority to go ahead and at least use his name on the air to talk about these kinds of things. But here's what he says to me by email, and I want you to comment on this. He said, so I didn't know that iThrive offered so much other cool stuff like peptide and PRP treatment. He says, I'm definitely looking into those. He said, I'm also surprised that when I started my membership at iThrive MD, I was told that my wife could receive a 15% discount on any products or services as long as I'm a member. He said, so it might be worth mentioning to your audience that some dudes who aren't necessarily thinking about their wives in this equation, once they find out that there's stuff going on for ladies at iThrive MD too, he goes, that might bring more people in. So Doc, could you start off with, you're a guy, you're hearing about iThrive MD on the radio or on YouTube or on our TV show, and you hear a listener say there's more stuff for women. I'm only talking about the men's stuff. Just give us a little preview on what it is that a guy should know about what his wife could receive at iThrive MD.
Well, we actually, so I'm a cardiologist by training, but one of the things that I kind of shifted my practice over the last 5 to 7 years is on things that really can make an impact on wellness and health holistically, looking both inside and out. So we have top-notch injectors that do aesthetic work like Botox and fillers. We have a very, very robust, one of the top vein practices in San Diego County where we treat varicose veins. And then from a wellness perspective, we attack all the drivers or the main drivers of aging, which really stems from chronic inflammation that we get from our diets. It stems from poor tissue repairs and poor recovery. And then the final thing is just the engine of producing energy. The mitochondria of the cells are not as efficient. So we on the wellness side attack those three things. And part of the wellness is also hormone replacement therapy, which I know a lot of the listeners hear about, which is hugely impactful just because of the mortality rates associated with low testosterone and how under-recognized and undertreated it is in the traditional medical community. So to kind of summarize, there's quite a bit we do, aesthetic treatments, as I mentioned, Botox fillers, we treat varicose vein disease. And so we have a really robust and highly skilled staff that can help with all that.
Varicose veins for guys also, because I have to make an admission. I have a varicose vein. Anybody else have a varicose vein? Anybody else have one of those?
Can you enlighten me on what that is?
So here's the
big old green vein and white people be getting.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Browner. I mean, black people must have them too at some point. But Doc, when I was a kid, I can remember my grandmother had these varicose veins in her legs. And as a little kid, I thought to myself, that is disgusting. Sorry, Grandma. God rest your soul. You know, but I really did. I thought like these purpley veins in her legs. I thought it was gross. And I like to wear, you know, pairs of shorts, and my knee, like on the inner part of my knee, on my left leg. What, Alex? You're looking up there?
I just Googled it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about my gross varicose vein.
Well, dude, listen, man, we've been talking a lot about what you've done to your body today. So
yeah, true.
Specifically your hair. So keep going.
Dr. Damani, I have one varicose vein. It's kind of purplyish and whatever, and it's on my knee. And so when I wear shorts that don't cover my knees, I'm like self-conscious about this varicose vein.
We can take care of that.
Well, so for any guy out there that's like me, that is like looking away from it because we're just self-conscious about it, how long does it take to get rid of something like that?
Yeah, so, you know, varicose veins, so varix is a Latin-derived term, it's dilated, right? So basically, you know, vein is obviously blood that returns to your heart from your feet, your head, and your arms. And as you know, blood has to get from your feet to your heart. And generally, we're either sitting or standing, gravity wants to pull it down, right? So in about 60 to 70% of people, there's actually valves in these veins that keep blood from coming back down to the ground. And so in those people, when they're deficient, so 60 to 70% of people have basically brittle valves. They don't work in these superficial veins. And so the vein becomes dilated and blood becomes stagnant in your legs. They increase your risk for DVT. Blood circulation goes down. And so what ends up happening, about 60 to 70% of women over the age of 40 to 50, and if they've had multiple pregnancies, have it. And men, you know, the rates are, you know, between 20 and 30%, but it's very common. It's genetics. And what happens is that the blood sits there and your body wants to create extra veins. So, you know, because your body doesn't want blood to sit anywhere. And so it's kind of like what I give the example, it's like digging a ditch off a river where the water just goes, it becomes stagnant, mosquitoes get there, and it's just not healthy. And so some people might have that one varicose vein, and that might be it. But what we encourage everyone is to come in and get an ultrasound done. And an ultrasound will tell me whether the valves are working and whether that vein that you see is connected to another vein that is actually feeding it, right? And we actually do radiofrequency ablations and pretty intricate therapies here to essentially close those extra highways that your body doesn't need and put the blood back where it needs to go. And so with someone like yourself, we could just arrange for a ultrasound where you could actually see, you know, exactly whether that varicose vein is an individual vein or if it's connected to these other veins that are leaking backwards. Either way, once we see that, then we can recommend a treatment. We do it right here in the office.
Are those preventable once you get in there? Like,
you know,
are you going to look at Scott's knee and be like, oh, there's like 10 more coming, dude?
Well, exactly. When most people have 10 more coming, right? And so, but, you know, it really varies. And so, but what the ultrasound tells me is, okay, what valves are working in the other veins? And, you know, we do that out of a company called Restore MD, which is another one of my clinical practices that I have. And so what we would do is we would essentially have a vascular technician do an ultrasound, and we would kind of see, is that vein being fed blood from somewhere else? In which case what we do is we close it, and insurance covers it. If you have a PPO insurance, they cover it so long as you have symptoms and, you know, a few other criteria on ultrasound, we submit a letter and gets approved.
Wow. We're talking to Dr. Samir Damani this afternoon. You know his name because it's associated with iThrive MD. The website is ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. That's the one that I prefer you to use because that's how Dr. Damani and his marketing team can actually follow along with how much traffic we're driving. So please, ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. The phone number, this is kind of funny, guys, because Browner and Alex, you'll appreciate this. We kind of tell people now that we don't give phone numbers as often anymore. But Dr. Damani's like, dude, when I drive down the road, when I hear the phone number, that's what sparks, you know, my interest. Oh, I got to call them. So, you know, we've talked about this, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. That is the number just for our audience to call and make an appointment. Again, your testosterone treatments are usually $289 a month. Dr. Damani's doing it for your first 3 months at $145, half price. But Doc, when I go back to this email from Michael Ambacher, our longtime listener, he said there's so many other cool things that are happening at iThrive MD besides just testosterone, like peptide and PRP treatment. I've not talked about these. Can you just give us a brief explanation on what those are?
Absolutely. So peptides are proteins, right? Protein, there's fat, there's protein, and there's carbohydrates. So it's a basic molecule of what you want to call building blocks of, tissue. Your liver, your kidney, all is composed of protein, right? Proteins are essentially peptides, which are short chain amino acids that have been put together to make a long protein. And so you can actually, and peptides have been given for decades, by doctors, and there's a lot of really beneficial effects they can have, and everything from peptides where you just do a small, tiny injection and it actually increases and some you can, spray through your nostril, but there's peptides that help with erectile dysfunction. There's peptides that help with increasing growth hormone. There's peptides that help with, a number of other things, even improving your immune system. So there's quite a few peptides that we use in our patient population. And we do it very, very, strategically and on an individualized basis. But peptides, one thing. PRP is just taking your own blood, spinning it down, getting platelets, and it can stimulate healing. So a lot of people get PRP in their shoulder, their actual knee, and even something like prolotherapy, which is basically dextrose in water. We've had several patients come in and get that, and that again stimulates healing as well. So those are some of the things that really go along the anti-aging things we talked about, that we really are focused on. Patients are getting great response for it, especially with knee, shoulder issues. In particular, we have a lot of people with tennis elbow or golfer's elbow that come in, will get their elbow injected with, PRP or with prolotherapy, which is another kind of PRP type therapy.
Doc, I'm hearing all this, and Browner and Grande, I'm wondering what you guys think. I'm talking testosterone all the time. I'm talking about, brain fog and erectile dysfunction, or a lack of, sex drive, or, and other things that can be a problem as it applies to a low testosterone number. But man, maybe we should start talking about all these other really cool things that you guys do.
Well, I think the testosterone is really important because I think just in general, it's an easy way for people to get into, especially if they have symptoms. But we do therapies with something else called NAD therapy, which has been very, very powerful in terms of promoting better mitochondrial function, improving sleep, improving metabolism. And so that's something we tell people. They come in and their testosterone is normal. We do talk to them about, NAD therapy is another modality to try to get the boost and benefit that you might get from testosterone. But if your testosterone levels are normal or in the high range, we certainly don't treat people that don't need it. So in that situation, there are other things that people could try for chronic fatigue or even just to improve performance. We have a lot of athletes that come in, professional athletes, Jaleel Ade, who I believe just signed with the Colts. He would come in on a routine basis. And as you talked to is Phil Davis. Right. You guys spoke with Phil. The other thing we're doing is, and actually something I'm very passionate about, is our executive health program, which is, looking at things like whole body MRI for cancer screening. I mean, cancer is rapidly becoming, the number one killer in this country. It's soon to overtake cardiovascular disease in the next 10 years as an aging population. And many cancers don't have, adequate screening tools, and so we have whole body MRI that we work with a group that we do, and, in particular pancreatic cancer, some of the GI cancers, which are highly deadly, get discovered late. So we do that. We do stress testing. We do coronary calcium. So in addition to the kind of the holistic wellness and performance optimization, we also have a very traditional medical kind of toolkit where we can get people who are interested in really, prevention, staying ahead of things, get them to, get some of these modalities. Your microbiome in your gut, which looks at the bacteria in your gut, and, how do you digest food? What are your food sensitivities? We go through life saying, hey, I have a lot of bloating, I have a lot of this, don't understand. So there's a lot of lab testing that we do, looking at inflammation, looking at food sensitivity. cancer screening that we do through our executive health program too. And so that's something that we're getting a lot of traction with as well.
All right. I've been talking testosterone for a long time, guys, but as you're hearing Dr. Damani today, there's a lot more to I Thrive MD. There's, whether it's varicose veins or it's aesthetic stuff that we were talking about with ladies, with Botox, even though there's guys that use Botox as well. There's a lot more. And I love this notion of cancer screenings to get preventative. It was a great question, Alex. All right, Browner, I'm curious now. You got me curious. Got about 5 minutes here with Dr. Damani. What is this $1 billion concept you got?
All right, check this out, Doc. From one doctor to another doctor. We know that men
By the way,
struggle.
Browner is a doctor on television, just so you know.
I'm like Dr. Oz. So, men struggle with their hair, okay? Most of it because it doesn't grow correctly. But most men, today like Scott, struggle because of self-destruction. He was trying to cut his widow's peak and absolutely just murdered a big old chunk in front of his hair. So now he's self-conscious about it. He keeps touching it, makes it look like his head is sweating bullets. What I would suggest, if this thing is possible, that there is some form of cream or process that would help fill in that little ugly spot that he done cut out his head. Show the doc what we talking about, Scott.
Dr. Damani, I have this little like Eddie Munster self-consciousness, okay? And so I took my manscaping razor and I went buzz, buzz. But then what happened is I buzzed too much and now I've got this hole in my hair here. Check this out, Doc.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Doc's like, oh, yeah. Oh, I can see that. Oh, I got a treatment for that. Yeah.
What'd you do that for?
Yeah.
So
Well,
we need to figure like a patch, like a
women use to grow
AstroTurf.
their eyelashes. That might work. The one that they grow their eyelashes, it's really expensive though. But it'll grow back on its own. So you might be better off just waiting. but the Latisse might be an option if you're really aggressive. But a lot of people also for hair loss take Propecia. Propecia is a very effective treatment. It blocks testosterone, a specific testosterone, dihydroxytestosterone, and there's several other products that can be used to help with that as well.
All right. Well, Browner, your idea stinks.
Apparently, that was his professional way of being.
But I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of big companies working on it right now, working on exactly what you're talking about. So unfortunately, I'm not in that space.
He's busy.
Yeah. Hey, Doc, could you do us a favor here, just as we kind of finish up this conversation? We look forward to having you back. But just tell all the guys out there, because I feel like when you put out this generous offer of saying $289 a month is what it normally costs retail value, we'll do it at 50% off at $145 a month for the first 3 months of testosterone treatments, just to get everybody through the door to see how they're going to feel. Could you just describe to everybody, because I don't know that I'm doing it as good as you'll do it, what are some of the negative impacts of low testosterone that you could feel, and then when you get your testosterone levels right, what your patients are describing is how they're feeling thereafter?
Oh, it's really quite dramatic. I mean, it can be dramatic, but it can also be subtle. I mean, reduced libido is one of the biggest ones. Just your sex drive's going down. I mean, it's a lot of times a big indicator. People think it's normal with age, but it's actually not across the board normal, and it can indicate low testosterone. Poor recovery, low muscle mass, low bone density. Are all different things, and the other thing is erectile dysfunction. A lot of men are like, I don't have, I don't get erections that easy. And it's not just, getting age. Some of it can be vascular related, but a lot of people, it's just low testosterone. And then there's even brain fog and just lack of energy. I mean, poor energy is a big complaint that people have in general. With low T. So those are all things that are treated. And once you get treated, I mean, it's game changing. I mean, we haven't, lost a single patient that's been treated, for testosterone because they feel so much better. And when you look at the observational data as a cardiologist, what was really convincing to me was just looking at the mortality rates, and low T was actually associated with almost 2 times the normal mortality of the population. So, and if you're obese, you have hypertension, you have chronic disease, you're more likely to have it, up to 1 in 2 who with obesity or diabetes has low T. So it's a very prevalent condition, and the symptoms are, can be subtle or they can be rather dramatic, but it's just things you don't think about. You think it's normal part of aging, but it's not.
Dr. Samir Damani, ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. Here's his phone number, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. Make that appointment now before Thanksgiving and get your first 3 months of testosterone treatments at half price. Hey, Doc, we got to hustle, but I'm looking forward to hopefully you, but certainly the iThrive MD team joining us on December 11th, Saturday, for our Sunset Cruise with the great friends. You're going to have a chance to meet a lot of our listeners and viewers. They're going to have a chance to meet your team, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on December 11th.
Wonderful. All right. Take care, Scott.
You know, I really enjoyed that conversation with Dr. Damani, and I hope, fellas, because you guys know the deal. It's like back in the old days of radio, we could never give a client 15 minutes on the air. Now we can, and I hope that's beneficial to everybody, because honestly, like, I'm totally self-conscious about this varicose vein that you make fun of me for, Brown.
So get rid of it.
Well, doctor saw it, and he's like, we can take care of that, so I'm going to. Hey, Browner and Lawhead coming up at 6 o'clock on the radio. Browner, are you excited for tonight's show? You guys got a good show?
Yeah, man, we got a lot of good stuff coming up. We're gonna go into the little Jokic fight, too.
Okay, good, because we didn't get deep enough into that. I'll look forward to hearing that. Grande, weird day, right?
Fun day.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I don't feel compelled to like have to talk about this or talk about that. I don't have a program director up my ass telling me what I got to talk about. So it was a fun day. Hey, for everybody listening on radio, Browner and Lawhead are next. For everybody that watches on YouTube or listens on audio podcast, we'll have a separating for you guys. Radio listeners, we're back tomorrow from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Until then, radio listeners, peace.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Hey, it's Pharrell here, inviting you to catch my shows on the mightier 1090. We're on twice every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Trust me, all the other sports stations are sleeping with your wife.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Your View or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcat. He's in the 40. Is he going to go? Holds it in. What a catch. Return left sideline. Off to the races. He flips the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Catch all the action as Helix takes on Granite Hills October 29th at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
Congratulations to the San Diego County Teachers of the Year, Laura Reyes, Heather McLean, Jacqueline Jourdain, Zy Sanders, and Tiffany Jokerst.
This year has provided a mountain of challenges, but every mountaintop is within reach if you just keep climbing.
Cox Presents Salute to Teachers is proudly sponsored by these charitable companies.
The San Diego Loyals' 2021 season came to a close after they lost to San Antonio in the quarterfinals of the USL Championship playoffs. San Antonio capitalized on miscues and put up a strong defensive effort to get the 2-0 shutout win and send the Loyal home. San Diego does have plenty to be proud of this year. After an 0-4 start to the season, the Loyal went on a 9-game unbeaten streak and finished third in the Pacific Division. San Diego Loyal manager Landon Donovan said there were positives throughout the year, but ultimately the end of the season exposed the team's weaknesses. Donovan said he looks at that as a learning experience for the team and for him as a coach. San Diego did have some opportunities toward the end of the game against San Antonio, but they just couldn't find the net to get on the board and find a way. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
says test it on cited.co. Yes, .co. SoCal Sports Talk. The all-new and mightier 1090.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those afflicted by chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learn more at LaMesaRehab.com.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being, and we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us and sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
Attention, all dogs, cats, horses, tortoises, birds, pigs, and all other pets. Get your family members to sit, stay, and watch Animal Zone every Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on this channel and at animalzone.org.
Tune in Saturdays at 9 p.m. to watch Animal Zone right here on YourView.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio, SoCal Sports Talk.